out there tonight, like right at this very second, someone is ignoring an entire parade of neon red flags just because the guy happens to have a perfectly sculpted V-line.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, like in a decent jawline. And somewhere out there, someone is confidently looking into a camera and claiming they've absolutely found the one after literally one single conversation about how much they both kind of like the ocean.
Just delusional.
Completely. And somewhere, someone is absolutely sobbing on a beanbag over a brutal, completely unhinged text message.
Just devastated.
Devastated. And babes, this delusion, this absolute emotional chaos, this is exactly why Love Island exists.
Yes, it is.
And this is exactly why we are here to break it down.
Babes, welcome back. We love you. We see you. And babes, we're so happy to have you here.
We really are.
And when I say you, I mean you specifically.
Right.
Like the one listening right now, sitting in traffic, or maybe aggressively folding laundry.
Or ignoring that spreadsheet you're supposed to be finishing.
Exactly. We are your designated safe space for absolute reality TV madness.
We really are. And I just have to start by saying, to you, our dedicated listener, we are so incredibly sorry.
So sorry.
Because it has been the most chaotic week of our entire lives. I mean, truly, life has just been lifing in the most aggressive, relentless way possible.
It has been unrelenting.
We have been completely off the grid for a few days, and the withdrawal was real.
The withdrawal was visceral. Like, we need to officially apologize for being MIA.
Yeah, we really do.
If you've been wondering where we were, sitting there thinking we abandoned you to the snarkless void, it's because producer Allison's computer literally combusted. I don't mean that metaphorically. It didn't just freeze. It didn't just give us the spinning wheel of death.
No, it was actual smoke.
It gave up the ghost in a puff of actual smoke.
And work has been an absolute, inescapable nightmare. We were trapped in the trenches of technical support. And existential dread. I was fully spiraling.
You really were.
You know me, I do not handle disruptions to the routine well.
Not at all.
Honestly, one broken laptop in 2026 is the equivalent of a Victorian woman losing her entire dowry.
Oh my God.
It is. It completely derails your standing in society. You are suddenly destitute, wandering the moors in a nightgown.
Just completely unable to communicate with the outside world.
Exactly. I didn't know how to function without checking the Reddit threads every 5 minutes. I was just staring at the wall.
You were pacing the floor like a caged animal. I had to talk you off the ledge multiple times this week.
You did. But we survived the dark ages of the midweek crisis.
We did. And tonight, our chosen coping mechanism is poured, chilled, and ready. Snark Squad, we are drinking peach white sangria.
Oh, yes, we are.
And let me tell you, it is hitting the absolute spot.
It is so good. We have to talk about this because I have very strong drink ranking energy today.
Oh boy, here we go.
I do. I need to get this on the record. Peach is the undisputed superior summer fruit. It's not even a debate.
I mean, I'm not going to argue with you.
It has the perfect sweetness to acidity ratio. And white sangria, elite. Absolutely elite.
Totally elite. Like, we need to discuss the psychology of sangria for a second.
Okay, let's do it.
Because red sangria is a trap.
It really is.
It's a beautiful, delicious trap, but a trap nonetheless. It tastes amazing, sure, but it stains your teeth, that weird purplish gray color.
Oh, I hate that.
And then an hour later, you just want to take a nap on a velvet couch. It's a heavy, sleepy beverage.
It makes you so tired.
But white sangria is clarifying. It makes you want to gossip.
Yes.
It makes you want to sit on a sun-drenched patio and unearth people's deepest, darkest secrets.
Exactly. It's a literal truth serum.
But also, everything just tastes significantly better when you are slightly emotionally overwhelmed, but very well hydrated.
That is so true.
That is my entire philosophy for this season of reality TV. Hydrate, escalate, and evaluate.
It's a flawless philosophy. And honestly, looking at the absolute state of the villa right now, we need all the clarifying agents we can get.
We really do.
Babes, we genuinely hope you have an amazing weekend ahead of you because you deserve it after making it through this week. Yes. Have the most amazing weekend. But also, I am already feeling that specific weekend energy spiral creeping in.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
You know, that specific dread. The feeling of knowing you should relax, you should unplug, go for a walk in nature, touch some grass.
But you won't.
I absolutely will not do any of those things because I have to overanalyze reality TV and my own life choices instead.
Oh, the self-imposed homework of the dedicated viewer.
It's a lot of work.
You sit down on a Friday night, the whole weekend stretching out before you, and you realize you have 3 shows to catch up on.
And you're suddenly taking meticulous notes on your phone.
Like you're preparing for the bar exam in reality TV jurisprudence.
Yeah.
It's a sickness, but it's our sickness.
Speaking of sickness and questionable life choices, I have to confess something to you right now.
Oh no, what did you do?
I need to get this off my chest before we even touch the villa drama. This afternoon, I went to my Italian class.
The one you took to broaden your horizons.
Yes, that one. And I need to announce that Instructor Giovanni is a massive, massive problem.
Here we go. I knew this was coming. The Giovanni Chronicles continue.
No, you have to listen to me. I swear, Giovanni continues to get more and more gorgeous every single week. It is a physical glow-up of unprecedented proportions. I'm sitting there in the second row trying to conjugate regular verbs, and I'm genuinely questioning my own reality.
Were you learning any actual Italian?
No, I'm staring at this man, and my brain is short-circuiting. Like, is it raw, undeniable charisma? Or is it just the delusion of language immersion making him completely irresistible?
It's definitely the delusion.
Because when a man speaks Italian, suddenly his jawline looks sharper. It's science.
It is not science. It is pure delusion. I am aggressively insisting right now that this is becoming a legitimate problem that requires an intervention.
I can't help it.
You are paying good money for a class to learn a functional language, not to write romantic fan fiction in your head while a man writes on a whiteboard.
I completely failed to focus on the lesson. I couldn't do it. I was too busy romanticizing the absolute most mundane things. Like, I dropped my pencil, and I spent 5 minutes envisioning the scenario of him picking it up.
Oh, my God.
Like, our hands brushing over a yellow Ticonderoga #2, our eyes locking, and suddenly we're on the back of a vintage Vespa speeding past the Coliseum.
You need to be studied.
I can't be held responsible for my thoughts in that room. The acoustics make his voice sound like a cinematic masterpiece.
You need to be studied by behavioral scientists. This is an illness.
It's romantic.
But what's fascinating here, and the reason I'm indulging this ridiculous tangent, is that your Giovanni delusion is the exact same psychological mechanism driving the absolute madness we just watched on Love Island.
Wait, you're so right.
It is proximity-based delusion. You put people in a confined environment, you add a little bit of novelty, whether it's an Italian accent or a new bombshell walking into the villa, and suddenly everyone loses their minds.
They throw logic completely out the window. Oh my gosh, you are so right. Giovanni is my bombshell.
Exactly. He's your bombshell. And because the weekend is here and your delusional energy is currently operating at an all-time high, we have to prepare the Snark Squad for whatever chaos the universe is about to throw their way.
Yes.
Babes, we are manifesting love this weekend, or at the very least, a really, really good story to tell at brunch.
I need a good story.
So we are going to channel the stars and read some messy, chaotic love horoscopes.
Yes. I need the stars to tell me what to do because my own judgment is clearly compromised by a man who can roll his R's.
Clearly. Let's start with the fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, listen up.
Listen closely, babes.
Your ruling planets are completely out of alignment. You will experience unexpected romance this weekend, but there is a massive catch.
Oh no, what is it?
It will be with someone who still genuinely believes that a 3-in-1 body wash, shampoo, and conditioner is an acceptable grooming routine.
Oh, that is devastating. The absolute horror.
It's rough.
The smell of generic ocean breeze and deeply compromised hair follicles, that dry, flaky scalp energy. I'm so sorry, fire signs.
They deserve better, but the stars are humbling them.
It builds character, I guess. Now, let's look at the earth signs. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn.
What's their damage?
Earth signs. I need you to sit down, take a deep breath, and hand your phone to a trusted friend.
Hand it over.
You are going to make historically bad decisions tonight. You will inevitably text the ex you swore to all of us was dead to you.
Oh, they always do.
You'll convince yourself it's just to check in or to see if they want their old hoodie back. But we both know it's because the peach white sangria told you to do it.
Put the phone away.
Do not look at their Instagram stories. Just don't do it.
They won't listen. They never listen.
True.
Air signs, you're up on the chopping block. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius.
What's happening with the air signs?
You are going to experience deep, swirling emotional confusion this weekend. But like in a good way.
Ooh, I love a good confusion.
You'll catch completely unwarranted, intense feelings for a barista who misspells your name on the cup.
Oh my gosh.
You will interpret the extra "y" they added to your name as a cosmic sign of a twin flame connection.
And you will spend 4 days wondering if you should invite them to a farmer's market. I feel aggressively seen by that one. That is my exact operating frequency.
I knew you would relate to that. And finally, water signs. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces.
What do we have for the water signs?
You are channeling pure, unadulterated, dramatic exit energy. You are the main character of a soap opera.
I love that for them.
You will cause an absolute scene at a brunch spot over something incredibly minor like the ratio of hollandaise sauce to poached egg.
Yes.
And you will leave looking absolutely fabulous, flipping your hair as you walk out the door.
Honestly, a highly successful weekend for the water signs. Maximum drama, zero casualties.
Exactly.
But babes, enough about Giovanni, sangria, and delusional love horoscopes. Let's get into Love Island.
We have to.
Because Season 13, Episode 18 just fundamentally altered my brain chemistry. I am still vibrating with rage.
Literally vibrating.
My Apple Watch gave me a high heart rate notification during the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We need to get into the sleepover aftermath.
It was an absolute mess.
This entire sequence of events requires a forensic breakdown. So, let's set the scene. The Islanders are returning from the sleepover, which, let's be brutally honest here, was a complete and utter snooze fest.
A total snooze fest. The producers must have been absolutely seething behind the cameras in the control room.
Oh, they were furious.
Think about the logistics. You bring in 4 gorgeous new bombshells, you set up this whole separate villa dynamic, you separate the couples, you pump in alcohol, and absolutely nobody turns their head.
Nobody.
The bombshells completely failed to pull any real focus. They were just sitting around playing charades.
It was so embarrassing.
Except, of course, for one massive, glaring, ego-driven exception.
Simba
and Mica.
I cannot even say his name without my blood pressure spiking. It physically pains me.
Take a breath.
We have to analyze this connection from the ground up because it is built on pure, concentrated delusion.
It really is.
They kissed multiple times at the sleepover. They kissed in the icebreaker challenges, which is fine, that's the game.
Sure.
But then they kissed outside of the challenges. And now, Simba is walking back into the main villa, and he is radiating lethal levels of ego.
Lethal.
Mm-hmm.
Toxic.
Yeah.
Radioactive levels of ego. And we see this manifest immediately.
Oh, we do.
He pulls Chitty for a chat.
Mm-hmm.
Chitty, who, by the way, is the one who actually brought Mica into the sleepover in the first place.
Right.
And Simba, with a straight face, looks at him and has the absolute audacity to say he feels like he is hot property.
Hot property? Who says that? What kind of 1980s real estate broker jargon is that?
I know.
And then it gets worse. He sits back, puffs out his chest, and says Angelista knows the type of Bruta she's dealing with.
Ugh.
I wanted to throw my sangria directly at the television screen.
Let's unpack the psychology of what's happening here because it's fascinating in a horrifying way.
Please do.
Simba has completely confused basic situational physical attraction with being God's absolute gift to women. He is in a confined environment. A new girl comes in. Her literal job as a bombshell is to create a connection and secure a place in the villa.
That is literally what she's paid to do.
Exactly. She's willing to kiss him because he's attractive and she needs a storyline.
Yeah.
But Simba interprets this transactional reality TV flirtation as proof of his own undeniable magnetism.
He really thinks he's all that.
He thinks he's a mastermind. He thinks he's orchestrating this high-level romantic drama, but really, he's just acting like a kid in a candy store who hasn't realized he eventually has to pay the cashier.
Yes, the delusion of thinking you are the prize when you are really just the most convenient option.
Exactly.
And oh, the bill came due. Let's talk about what I am officially crowning as the most wicked, cruel conversation in reality TV history.
It was dark.
They get back to the main villa, the vibe is off, Angelista already knows something is up. Women always know.
We always know.
You can see it in her eyes. She's stressed, her posture is rigid. Simba pulls her for a chat on the beanbags.
And here is where it pivots from typical Love Island messiness, like the kind of messiness we enjoy, to actual clinical emotional cruelty.
Exactly. He sits her down to confess to the kisses with Mica, which, okay, fine, you have to tell her. That's the baseline requirement of human decency on this show.
The bare minimum.
But instead of just apologizing or saying, hey, I messed up, or even saying, my head is turned, I need to explore this new connection, he hits her with the most unhinged request I have ever heard uttered by a human mouth.
It was baffling.
He looks this beautiful woman in the eye while she's actively processing the betrayal of him kissing someone else and says he wants to take Mica to the Hideaway.
Just unbelievable.
To share a bed, away from the cameras, just to test their connection.
And pay attention to the exact phrasing he uses to justify this. He tells Angelista he needs to do this for clarity.
For clarity. I am erupting all over again. My blood is boiling.
Take a sip of sangria.
He asked her this while Angelista is actively crying. Genuine tears are streaming down her face. Her voice is shaking.
It was so hard to watch.
And he sits there looking completely detached and says, I'm a big boy. I can take it on the chin. Just tell me if you're okay with it.
As if he's doing her a favor.
She literally asks him, point blank, how would you feel if you were in my shoes? And he admits out loud that he'd be absolutely fuming, but he still wants her permission to do it.
What we're watching here is the ultimate weaponization of honesty.
Yes.
People like Simba, and we all know guys like this in the real world, hide behind the phrase, I'm just being honest, to justify the most incredibly selfish narcissistic behavior.
They totally do.
It's a very specific type of manipulation. He thought that by asking for permission to completely humiliate her on national television, by putting the decision on her plate, he was somehow taking the moral high ground.
So sick.
His cowardice masquerading as transparency. He wanted to sleep with a new girl, but he wanted his current partner to absolve him of the guilt before he did it.
It is so deeply twisted, and then we get the absolute piece de resistance of awful behavior.
Oh, the hug.
The conversation inevitably ends because Angelista is just broken. She is sobbing into her hands. What does Simba do?
Nothing good.
Does he comfort her? Does he realize the magnitude of the pain he just inflicted? No. He stands up, gives her the stiff, cold, rigid, corporate HR meeting hug.
Like he's consoling a coworker who just got laid off from a mid-level accounting firm.
Exactly, and just walks away. He just leaves her there crying on the neon beanbags.
And where does he go immediately after that HR hug? He doesn't go to the boys to reflect. He goes straight up to the terrace to go flirt with Mica and officially ask her to the Hideaway.
I couldn't believe it.
It is breathtakingly callous. There is a complete absence of empathy. But if we pull back and connect this to the bigger sociological picture of the villa, we have to talk about the reaction of the other girls.
We really do.
Because this is where the dynamic goes from sad to deeply problematic.
Yes. Thank you for bringing this up. The selective outrage. We have to shine a massive spotlight on this.
We do.
Angelista is left sobbing alone. She is hypoventilating. The entire villa can see her from the kitchen and the daybeds.
And who actually goes over to comfort her in her lowest moment?
Namibia, Priya. And eventually Lola. But let's be real. Lola only went over by default because she happened to be sitting on a lounger 3 feet away.
That's it. 3 people.
That's it. 3 people. And the glaring question is, where is Jasmine? Where is Ellie? Where is this whole performative girl energy they've been peddling since day one?
It vanished.
Let's look at the precedent. When Yasmin was crying 2 days ago over a minor, completely solvable miscommunication about making coffee, the girls formed a literal human shield around her.
They were ready to go to war over coffee.
They were petting her hair, giving her affirmations, ready to fight. But Angelista is sobbing after being publicly, devastatingly humiliated by her partner, and it's absolute crickets from half the female cast.
It makes me so incredibly angry, and it makes me so sad for her. And it proves exactly what a lot of the really smart reviewers online have been pointing out for years. There is a harsh, unspoken reality to the villa hierarchy. Black women on these reality shows are so often treated as an afterthought.
Always.
They are expected to shoulder the burden of being the backup option or the strong one who can handle disrespect with grace. When they cry, it doesn't trigger the same protective instinct in the rest of the cast.
It's the strong black woman trope playing out in real time to her detriment. Simba treated her like a disposable placeholder, and half the villa acted like her emotional pain simply wasn't a priority.
Jasmine especially was a massive disappointment here.
So disappointing.
She was too busy playing both sides of the fence because she wants to be besties with the new bombshell, Mica. It was selective empathy based on social convenience, and it was gross to watch.
It really was gross. But if there's one thing we know about the reality TV gods, it is that the universe demands balance. Hubris is always punished.
Always.
And karma came for Simba faster than a bad Amazon delivery. I want to transition into the next massive fallout of this episode, the humbling of Simba.
Oh, this was cinematic. If I could frame this sequence of events and hang it in the Louvre, I would.
It was a masterpiece of immediate, devastating consequences.
So let's track his movements. Simba leaves his crying partner, practically jogs up to the terrace, and pitches the Hideaway idea to Mica.
He's smiling, he's leaning in, he thinks he has this completely in the bag.
He really does. But Mica, to her absolute credit, doesn't immediately say yes. She says she needs to think about it.
Which was smart.
She goes downstairs, pulls Jasmine and Tina aside, and they have a quick summit. And Mica realizes, wait a minute, my gut is screaming no.
And let's be analytical about why her gut was screaming no. Was it pure morality? Maybe a little.
Probably not mostly.
But mostly, she realizes that going to the Hideaway with a man who just callously made his supposed friend cry is a terrible look.
Not just ethically, but from a pure self-preservation standpoint in the game.
Exactly.
She knows the public is watching. She knows the other girls will turn on her. She calculates the social currency, and the math does not add up.
It's bad PR. So she pulls him for a chat by the fire pit, and she completely shuts it down.
It's glorious.
She looks him in the eye and tells him her gut says no, it feels wrong, and she refuses to be the reason Angelista is humiliated further.
And the body language shift.
Let me tell you, I have never obsessed over a shift in human body language more in my entire life. I rewound it 3 times.
It was instantaneous. It was like watching a balloon pop in slow motion. The second the word no leaves her lips, the facade shatters.
Complete.
The mask slips completely off his face.
He goes from this grinning, leaning in, hot property flirt to a sulking, petulant toddler in the span of 1.5 seconds.
He was so fast.
The eye contact drops straight to the floor, the charismatic smile vanishes into a grimace, and he literally mutters to himself, completely forgetting he's wearing a microphone, "I'm fed now, man." So fed.
It's the classic narcissistic crash.
Yeah.
This is the consensus across every Reddit thread right now. Crashing out and throwing a full-blown tantrum because a woman sets a firm boundary and tells you no is a massive, neon-flashing red flag.
Huge red flag.
He wasn't upset that he hurt Angelista. That didn't register. He was upset that his master plan failed, that he wasn't going to get physical gratification, and that he ended up looking foolish on television.
He was so embarrassed.
He thought he was being so respectful by asking, showing absolutely zero self-awareness that the ask itself was the insult.
And the best part, the absolute cherry on top of this humbling sundae. He gets up and storms off from Mica, and who intercepts him?
Ellie.
Ellie.
The absolute, undisputed union leader of the villa.
I was standing up in my living room cheering. Ellie pulls him aside, looks at him with eyes like absolute daggers, and coldly, calmly tells him, "You made your bed, now lie in it."
It was magnificent.
She didn't yell, she didn't scream, she just delivered a verbal execution.
She really did.
She is acting like a highly likable fae from season 7, just holding the men's feet directly to the fire and not letting them squirm away.
She completely broke the patriarchal hierarchy of the villa in that moment.
Yes.
Historically, the boys defend the boys, and the girls kind of let it slide to keep the peace. Ellie united the girls, at least in that specific moment, to not let him get away with his little pity party.
She refused to coddle his bruised ego. It was glorious television.
It really was.
Okay, but while Simba is completely self-destructing and sulking by the fire pit, another triangle is violently collapsing over on the terrace.
Oh, this is a mess.
The Yasmin, Lorenzo, and Aiden spiral.
This was equally chaotic, just in a completely different, slightly more frantic flavor.
Very frantic.
So to recap the buildup, Yasmin and Lorenzo have been doing this exhausting, drawn-out dance for days. Staring at each other across the pool, sighing heavily, acting like star-crossed lovers who are being kept apart by cruel fate, when really they just lack communication skills.
They just needed to talk.
And finally, the tension breaks. She stops fighting it, and they kiss.
A real, genuine kiss. Not a challenge kiss, not a dare. A real, intentional, romantic moment.
And of course, in the villa, word travels at the speed of light. Secrets do not exist.
No.
Aiden finds out that his partner just kissed another man.
And Aiden's brain completely short-circuits. He loses all grip on reality and enters what I am calling the panic rafting phase.
It is so embarrassing.
Secondhand embarrassment washed over my entire body. Aiden knows a recoupling is looming. He feels his safety net evaporating.
So what does he do?
So he just starts aggressively pulling every single woman with a pulse for a chat. He pulls Namibia. He pulls Priya. He even tries to pull Ellie, who is clearly not interested.
Your analogy for this was so incredibly spot on. You have to share it because it perfectly captures the psychology of his panic.
Okay, it is exactly like shopping at a grocery store 5 minutes before a Category 5 hurricane makes landfall.
Yes.
You aren't thoughtfully checking the labels. You aren't checking expiration dates to see if the milk is good.
You're just grabbing.
You are in pure survival mode, frantically sweeping random dented cans of soup and stale bread into your cart so you don't starve.
Exactly.
He wasn't looking for a genuine connection. He was just throwing spaghetti at the wall, hoping one single noodle would stick so he wouldn't get dumped from the island.
It was the fight-or-flight response manifested as terrible flirting. He was completely erratic. His energy was frantic.
And all of that adrenaline led to the fatal error.
The fatal error. Oh my God, I still cringe thinking about it.
Aiden finally sits down to have a tense, emotional conversation with Yasmin about their crumbling relationship.
He's so mad.
He is furious. He's trying to guilt trip her. He's trying to play the victim. And in his anger, he accidentally calls her Ellie.
For the second time. This wasn't the first
The
offense.
second time. He looks deeply into the eyes of the woman he's trying to manipulate into staying with him, and he calls her by the wrong name.
Unforgivable.
Yasmin, rightfully, completely loses her mind. She yells at him, and Aiden, realizing he has completely botched the landing, just storms off into the night, effectively putting a bullet in whatever fragmented relationship they had left.
It's poetic justice, really.
It is.
Think about the ego required to try and play the victim of a broken heart, when you literally cannot even remember the name of the heart that supposedly broke yours.
You can't even remember her name.
It proves he wasn't mourning Yasmin, he was mourning his bruised pride. Which brings us to the culmination of all this sprawling mess, the absolute crucible.
The most chaotic recoupling draft.
All of this tension, all of these lies, all of these frantic grocery store graphs culminate around the fire pit. We get the dreaded text, it's a girl's choice recoupling.
And the tension was thick enough to cut with a machete. Everyone is sweating. Let's break down this draft, pick by pick, because there are layers of deception here.
We start with the safe bets, or at least what appear to be safe bets on the surface. Lola picks Sean.
Which, side note, I need to flag immediately. Despite Lola standing up there and saying how happy she is, we cannot forget Sean making that incredibly weird comment earlier in the episode.
Oh, the test comment.
Yes, he literally told the boys that things are going great with Lola, but he really wants a test.
Yeah, because nothing screams, I am falling deeply in love with you and respect you. Quite like requesting the universe send a temptation your way just to see if you have the discipline not to cheat.
Very healthy dynamic there.
Then Jasmine stands up and picks Kavan.
I am heavily side-eyeing this entire dynamic. We need to unpack Kavan for a second because he is flying under the radar as a massive villain.
He really is.
At the sleepover, Kavan was aggressively flirting with the bombshell, Tina. He kept calling her a pocket rocket. He called her small and sexy 3 separate times. Who says that? It's so objectifying.
It's completely demeaning. He treated her like a fun little accessory, a shiny new toy. He entertained the flirtation fully.
Fully entertained.
And then he goes back to the main villa, looks Jasmine dead in the eyes, and lies through his teeth. He tells her nothing happened, he behaved perfectly, he was practically a monk.
And Jasmine picks him. But here is where it gets really twisted and why I don't feel entirely bad for her.
Oh, the secret conversation.
Secretly, before the recoupling, Jasmine pulled Kavan aside and told him that if Lorenzo ever becomes single, they might go back to their old ways.
I could not believe that.
She literally told her current partner that Lorenzo is her active backup plan. It is mutual, high-level, cold-blooded manipulation.
They deserve each other, truly. It's the prisoner's dilemma of reality TV couples.
It is.
They are both keeping one foot out the door, terrified of commitment, while pretending to be locked in for the sake of the cameras.
Then we have the inevitable domino falling. Yasmin picks Lorenzo, officially leaving Aiden stranded in the wind with his dented soup cans.
And then the absolute devastation, the moment that broke me.
I literally screamed into my living room. My dog started barking. The neighbors probably thought I was being attacked.
It was so bad.
Angelista's turn comes up. She stands at the fire pit, and she actually picks Simba.
It was a collective groan heard around the world. Millions of viewers dropping their heads into their hands simultaneously.
WHY. Why on earth would you take him back after the Hideaway disrespect?
I don't know.
He literally told you to your face that he wanted to sleep with your friend. He gave you a cold, detached HR hug while you cried.
And walked away.
He stormed off when he got rejected by the other girl, proving you were just his fallback option. And you stand up at the fire pit in a stunning dress and say, I'd like to couple up with this boy because... No.
It's the trauma bond of the villa environment. We talked about proximity delusion earlier. This is proximity desperation.
It's so sad.
She is terrified of the unknown. She doesn't want to be single and vulnerable, so she chooses a familiar evil over an uncertain future.
She convinced herself he changed.
She convinces herself that his eventual apology, which was garbage, by the way, was genuine because it's easier than facing rejection. It's agonizing to watch, but psychologically, it's a very common human response to emotional instability.
It's hard to watch. Then we get to the leftovers. Priya is forced to pick Sabotage because Lorenzo is taken.
And Sabotage has been secretly complaining about Priya's ego behind her back for 2 straight days.
2 days.
He tells the boys she's too arrogant, he mocks her confidence, but he plays the perfect doting gentleman to her face because he wants to stay in the villa. That is a ticking time bomb.
Oh, it's going to explode spectacularly. He resents her deeply, and that resentment will leak out. And speaking of explosions waiting to happen, Ellie sticks with Tommy.
Okay, we have to laugh about this because the dramatic irony is too delicious.
It's so good.
Tommy is sitting around on the daybeds, bragging to the boys that he actually knows the bombshell, Tina, from the outside world.
He openly admits he slid into her DMs because she used to be a ring girl.
And Ellie, our cold, calculating union leader, is just blissfully ignoring this massive, glaring red flag for now because she doesn't have the full context.
She has no idea.
But the timeline is going to catch up to him. When movie night happens, or the Twitter challenge exposes those DMs, Ellie is going to destroy him on a cellular level.
She will dismantle his ego piece by piece.
I am setting my DVR for that exact moment. I will throw a watch party.
Finally, the draft ends with the friendship saves. Namibia, sweet, empathetic Namibia, picks Aiden.
Basically rewarding his frantic grocery store hurricane grafting.
And Mica is left with Sam, who she picks just to save him as a friendship couple, leaving absolutely no one dumped tonight, but leaving everyone completely emotionally ruined.
Which brings us to a very necessary evaluation. Looking at these couples sitting around the fire pit, looking at the psychological wreckage they've inflicted on each other over the last 48 hours, we need to do a wellness check.
Yes, we do.
Babes, it is time for the Villa Emotional Damage Report. We need to categorize where everyone's head is actually at.
I have my clipboard ready. I am putting on my scrubs. We are rating these islanders on a strict medical scale of surprisingly stable, mildly unwell, actively spiraling, and needs immediate intervention.
I'll start with the hardest category. Surprisingly stable. Against all odds, I am giving this to Ellie.
Really, I need you to defend that, even with the impending doom of the Tommy DM situation looming over her head.
Yes, and here is why. Stability isn't about not having problems. It's about how you react to them.
Okay, true.
Ellie isn't emotionally compromised yet. She sees through a lot of the boys' nonsense. She's the one who held Simba accountable at the fire pit when everyone else was quiet.
She did do that.
She is operating with cold, hard, detached logic right now. When the Tommy news inevitably drops, she won't cry on a beanbag. She will systematically dismantle his life. That kind of emotional armor is incredibly stable for this environment.
Okay, I see your point. The stability of a hitman. I can respect that.
Thank you.
For mildly unwell, I am firmly placing Priya.
Oh, absolutely.
She is just giggling through the tension right now. She's currently stuck in a couple with Sabotage, a man who actively resents her confidence and complains about her to anyone who will listen.
He's so fake to her.
I think on some subconscious level, she knows something is off. She feels the disconnect, but she's just smiling through the pain to survive the week.
A very fair, astute assessment. She's repressing the reality. Now, for actively spiraling, this undeniably has to be Aiden.
100%. There is no other candidate.
The man went from being in a secure, comfortable couple, feeling like he was cruising to the finale, to completely losing control of his nervous system.
He lost it.
Storming away from a conversation because his brain short-circuited and he couldn't remember the name of the woman he was screaming at. Calling Yasmin Ellie twice in the span of one argument is the clinical definition of a spiral. He is completely out of control of his own narrative.
He needs to be grounded. He needs his phone taken away.
Agreed.
And finally, the most critical category, needs immediate intervention. This is a joint award, and it goes directly to Angelista and Simba.
Without a single doubt. They need a team of professionals airlifted into the villa.
Angelista needs an intervention for ignoring the loudest, most glaring, neon-lit disrespect we have seen all season and taking him back at the fire pit.
She needs a wake-up call.
Someone needs to sit her down and remind her of her worth. And Simba needs an intervention because he genuinely seems to think asking to take a side piece to the Hideaway is the equivalent of a casual HR request to switch cubicles.
It's wild.
His brain, his lack of empathy, his absolute inability to understand consequence, it needs to be studied under a microscope.
I fully agree with that diagnosis, but I am going to vigorously defend an honorable mention here.
Yeah.
I argue that Kavan also belongs in the actively spiraling ward.
Over the pocket rocket comments, you think he's spiraling?
Yes, because it's not just the comments, it's the web he's weaving. Overusing that phrase 3 times in one episode while actively plotting to lie to Jasmine, while Jasmine is actively plotting to keep Lorenzo is a backup.
Oh.
Kavan thinks he is playing the game brilliantly, but he is spiraling into a labyrinth of his own lies, and he simply isn't smart enough to keep track of them. He's going to trip over his own deceit.
You're not wrong. The man is a walking liability. Okay, let's pivot to how these disasters actually unfold.
Let's do it.
Let's look at the communication, or the complete lack thereof, in this episode. It's time to conduct a text message autopsy.
Yes, text message autopsy.
We are going to dissect the unsaid subtext behind how these people speak to each other.
I love this. Language is everything. Let's categorize the key interactions we witnessed. First category, genuine feelings. Where did we see actual vulnerability?
I hate to say it because of how much collateral damage it caused, but Yasmin kissing Lorenzo,
Yep, that's true.
it was undeniably messy. It destroyed Aiden's ego. But when they were sitting on that terrace, the feelings were real. The chemistry was palpable.
It was very real.
Unlike the sleepover bombshells, where it felt like everyone was just going through the motions to secure camera time, Yasmin and Lorenzo actually have a spark. You could hear it in the silence between their words.
I agree completely. It's chaotic, good. It's destructive, but honest. Next category, strategic gameplay. The Machiavellian interactions.
Oh, this is Jasmine telling Kavan that if Lorenzo becomes single, they might go back to their old ways.
This is the ultimate reality TV insurance policy. Jasmine is playing 4D chess right now.
She is playing chess while they are playing checkers.
She knows Kavan is a flight risk. She knows he was probably flirting with the bombshells. So what does she do? She establishes a baseline threat.
Yep.
She's communicating, if you mess up, if you stray, I already have a better, more attractive option waiting in the wings. It's ruthless, it creates insecurity in him, but it is highly strategic.
It's terrifying. Remind me never to cross Jasmine.
Never.
Okay, next category, emotional manipulation.
This is Simba telling Angelista he wants to sleep with Mica for clarity.
I will argue to the grave that this was intentional, calculated cruelty masked as honesty. Simba knew exactly what he was doing.
He absolutely knew.
He wanted to have his cake, eat it too, and make Angelista serve it to him on a silver platter. By using the word clarity, he uses the concept of emotional growth as a weapon to make her feel like she was the crazy one for being upset.
It's gaslighting.
I'm just trying to figure out my feelings. Why are you crying? It's a masterclass in gaslighting.
It's the dark side of therapy speak filtering into modern dating.
Oh.
People learn words like boundaries, clarity, and my truth, and they weaponize them to avoid accountability for horrible behavior.
So true. And our final communication category, this will be regretted tomorrow.
Oh, Tommy bragging to the boys about sliding into Tina's DMs.
Sir, you are on national television.
You're wearing a microphone pack.
There are cameras in the bushes. What are you doing?
It's the male ego overriding common sense.
Okay.
He thinks he's so cool in that exact moment, looking like the big man on campus who already knows the hot new girl.
He wants the boys' validation so bad.
But the timeline is going to catch up to him. He isn't thinking about tomorrow. He isn't thinking about Ellie's wrath. He is going to deeply, deeply regret running his mouth.
Oh, I cannot wait for the fallout.
Same.
Okay, moving on. Remember those messy horoscopes we did for you at the top of the show? Well, we rewrote them specifically for the Islanders based on tonight's absolute train wreck.
The stars have spoken, and they are not kind.
Let's start with Simba's rewritten horoscope. Simba, your cosmic forecast is titled Public Embarrassment.
The stars have aligned to absolutely fundamentally humble you.
You will drastically overestimate your market value.
You will seek physical gratification under the guise of honesty.
You will receive a firm, unyielding no from a woman you thought was securely in your pocket.
And you will crash out so hard that the entire internet will mock your sulking, childish body language for weeks to come.
It's written in the stars. You cannot fight astrology.
You really can't.
Okay, Angelista's horoscope. Hers is titled Emotional Confusion, but please, I am begging you on my knees, get it together.
Please get it together.
The cosmos are literally screaming at you to wait for Casa Amor. Stop accepting the absolute bare minimum from men who give you cold, HR-approved hugs while you weep.
Better things are coming, but you have to drop the dead weight of Simba first. The universe cannot bring you a king if you are holding on to a jester.
Let's pray she reads her chart. And finally, Aiden's horoscope.
What's Aiden's?
Titled Dramatic Exit Energy. You will let your bruised, fragile pride completely ruin your relationship. You will enter a state of fight or flight. You will pull every woman in a 5-mile radius for a chat.
You will call your partner by the wrong name, not once, but twice.
And you will storm off into the night looking like an absolute, undeniable clown.
A flawlessly accurate reading. I love astrology when it validates my anger.
Me too. All right, it is time to bring this all home. Snark Squad, court is officially in session.
Let's put these islanders on trial for their crimes against romance.
It is time for the red flag or green flag courtroom.
Order in the court. I'm ready to dispense justice.
Case number 1. Simba requesting the hideaway with his side piece Mica, while Angelista is actively crying. I am the prosecution here, and I argue this is a blood red flag.
The reddest flag.
It is the reddest flag that has ever waved in the wind. It shows absolute, terminal, zero empathy. He prioritized his immediate physical urges over the emotional well-being of someone he explicitly claimed to care about. He wanted permission to cheat.
I am the defense, and I have to immediately object to my own client and agree with the prosecution.
You have to.
I cannot defend this behavior. It is legally and morally indefensible. But I will add a piece of evidence to the record. His reaction to being rejected by Mica is an even darker shade of red.
The tantrum.
The tantrum, the sudden loss of chat, the pouting. It proves he only valued Mica for what she could give him physically, not as a person. The second she said no, his charm evaporated. Final verdict. Guilty of a terminal lack of self-awareness and emotional cruelty.
The gavel strikes.
Guilty.
Next case.
Case number 2. Jasmine keeping Lorenzo on the hook as a backup plan while coupled with Kavan. Oh, I'll take prosecution on this one. This is a glaring red flag. It is emotionally manipulative to Kavan.
Is it, though?
Yes. You cannot tell your current partner that you have a fallback guy waiting in the wings just to keep him on his toes. It creates a highly toxic power dynamic built entirely on insecurity and fear. It's holding someone hostage emotionally.
Okay, I am going to push back here. I am the defense, and I argue this is a green flag.
A green flag.
Or at least a survival tactic. Get your bag, Jasmine. Secure your spot in the villa. Let's look at the context. Kavan is out there calling other women pocket rockets.
Well, true.
He is untrustworthy, so why shouldn't Jasmine protect her peace, hedge her bets, and have a backup plan? It's survival of the fittest in that environment. You cannot put all your eggs in a basket that is actively leaking.
It's survival, sure, I can see that. But it's survival through mutually assured destruction. It's incredibly toxic. You can't build a real relationship if both of you are constantly looking at the exit door.
I call it strategy in a war zone. I think this one is a hung jury. We cannot reach a consensus on the ethics of the backup plan.
Fine, hung jury. We leave it to the court of public opinion.
Case number 3. Mica turning down the hideaway request from Simba.
Okay, what do you think? Was this noble or calculated?
You go first.
I argue green flag. I think it was brilliant. She read the room beautifully. She protected her personal brand. She trusted her gut instinct. And she realized that going to the hideaway would completely alienate her from the rest of the girls in the villa.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It was a smart, self-preserving, socially aware move. She saw a sinking ship and refused to buy a ticket.
I agree it was smart. BUT, I have to add a slight caveat to the record. It's a greenish flag.
Greenish.
Because while she did ultimately say no to the hideaway, she still fully entertained multiple kisses with him outside of challenges, knowing full well it would hurt Angelista.
That is a fair point.
She enjoyed the attention of stealing someone's man. She just didn't want the public backlash of sealing the deal. She isn't entirely innocent here.
That is a very fair point. The preliminary kisses were messy and unnecessary. She encouraged the delusion before shutting it down. Let's officially rule it a greenish flag. A pragmatic decision born out of a messy situation.
I love it. Well, that brings us to the end of this absolutely exhausting, unhinged breakdown of human behavior. I need a nap and a refill of sangria.
We survived it. But now, we need to hear from you, the one listening. Get in the comments right now or text us or shout it into the void.
Yes, we need your rulings. Answer us this. Which islander is the biggest red flag right now? Is it Simba for the cruelty, Aiden for the panic?
Good questions.
And honestly, I want you to really think about this. Is it possible that Lorenzo is actually the biggest mastermind of the entire season?
Ooh, the silent puppet master theory.
Think about it. He is quietly, silently waiting for Yasmin and Jasmine to literally fight over him, all while keeping his own hands entirely clean. He hasn't made a single aggressive move, yet women are destroying their couples for him. Let us know in the comments if you think Lorenzo is the silent puppet master.
It's a very solid theory. The quiet ones are always the most dangerous. Also, let us know, what's your love horoscope saying this week? Are you avoiding your ex's texts?
And please tell me, have you ever been completely distracted by a Giovanni in real life? Tell me I'm not alone in my language class delusion. Validate me.
And finally, what's your most chaotic dating story? Share your trauma so we can feel slightly better about the absolute mess we just watched on television.
Thank you so much for surviving this chaos with us. Remind yourselves to like, comment, subscribe, and please share this with another snarker who desperately needs to vent about Simba's HR hug.
Drink your water, maybe skip the red sangria, and protect your peace this weekend.
Stay delusional, stay romantic, and we'll see you on the snark side.